differently here. Me personally, I do think that Smooth is gonna have the advantage here. This map, in my opinion, and I could be wrong on this, is definitely a lot more dependent on team fight capability, which is why I think Red Team is gonna come out on top here. But I'm interested to see what you think, actually.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Depending, like the last fight didn't give us enough information about these teams. To be honest, they're both so close that it was tough to like see exactly which strategy was being employed by which. So I think we're just going to need a larger sample size.
Yeah. All right. So we're not going to waste any time, and we're going to get right into the second match here. I'd like to know what the viewers think, though. Who do you think is going to win this? Team LGS or Team Smooth over on the red side? We are going to see Team LGS stack swiftness and a little bit of might here as we're going out. Red Team, unfortunately, as they are lacking an Ellie, they will be able to get a little bit of swiftness. However, it's really not going to last them the same amount of time as Blue, and they're going to more than likely get to their points first. Keep in mind, however, this is a smaller map, so they might manage to get... They might manage to counter. Actually, we're seeing a pretty interesting move here. Let's take a look at Gold the Bus. He's actually going to cross over, not go directly up to midpoint, and sort of try to stop members of Red Team from getting there initially. He didn't get there in time to stop Rallad Flower Corp, so Rallad's going to get the initial advantage over here on the cap. Let's take a look, see how he's dealing damage. He's choosing to focus to Fresh Kashi here. Not doing the best amount of damage. I'm going to take a look at his stuff here real quick. He is running a pretty usual offensive warrior build, but as warriors are, he is getting a
Spawner.
Yeah, getting gated pretty
went
easily.
down.
Oh yeah, Spawner went down. Nice job by the Red Team ninjing.
So that's why they had one less person over by Keep and by Mine, is because they did allocate one person to Spawner and he went down. And that's really going to start it off with momentum.
And we are going to see a Sanctuary go down by Grouchton. They're going to use that to res up Goldable's excellent move there by the blue team. Both Sanctuaries by both Guardians are now down. And I believe this is an even mid-fight now. We're currently looking at Freya Kai, the Thief's point of view on the red team, choosing to focus Alkashi on Team LGS. And Freya is doing a pretty nice job, actually, negating Alkashi. Alkashi, unfortunately, does not have a lot of defenses, as most Shorpo Rangers will not see that come in. And Freya's going to have no trouble stomping him out.
That buff on the red team, look at their HPs. They're all completely full. The heals are there. The buff is definitely helping. And although they weren't on the point, Blue put themselves on the point. That means they were more susceptible to damage. And although it was supposed to like have a hold on point and maybe even capture it, they weren't able to capture it while the engineer was taking down Svanir.
Yeah.
And that was their main reason for loss there. So really good movement on red.
Really good initial choice there by Red Team choosing to go for Svanir. Definitely gave them that little push in the mid team that they needed to survive, and their bunker was able to hold out long enough in order to keep that.
It was a risk.
We are going to see LGS actually get a bit of a decap go on here. Shido Stars, nice job. He's been very good at those decaps so far. Despite the lack of a Thief or other fast mover on his team, getting those decaps on back points. However, he does have two members of Red Team against him, so unless he gains reinforcements here pretty quickly, which really aren't available at the moment, as we're seeing on the minimap, he will go down as we're seeing now.
Wow, yeah, they lost. They originally lost a point. He was able to contest it, but in the end, Red's going to come ahead due to this Spawner kill and due to 2v1 caps. Lots of blue being allocated to Henge, defending that point though.
It looks like actually like they're trying to regroup almost over here. As they are going to use all the resources to sort of knock out Frey. However, they do have this safely now, so now would be the good time to move out. We are going to see Sonic Screwdriver move in. Interesting choice by him, sort of possibly trying to distract Blue Team or delay them. He does miss his glue shot there, managing to hold back. I think actually, see what's gone on doing now. He noticed here that LGS might have been going here for the Chieftain, so he's trying to counter that. Red Team strategy not actually working out too well from him there. They're sort of going in 1v1, one by one. And again, they are going to get knocked out by this. Never a good choice, in my opinion, to go in 1 by 1 unless you're trying to stop them from being capped. So,
while you can say that, because Blue respawned and were grouped up there, Red had map control over the whole map. And although, yeah, Red went down right now, they still have points being ticked. And the Blues definitely going to need this opportunity to take over the map since Red died a couple times.
Yeah. And we're currently looking at the middle. Shido Stars taking on the Guardian, Rallad Flower Corpse over here on Team Smooth. So let's see. We do have another reinforcements. We do have more reinforcements coming in here. Grouchaton is going to bunker this. Flower is going to have to use his Sanctuary a bit early here to hold him back. It's going to be knocking back a couple of the members though. Rallad actually has a lot of sort of like a little. I call them annoyances on Guardian. I mean, they're called. They're called knockback walls.
Say that.
Yeah, I call them annoyances because they really just get in your way and he's using them pretty nicely here. It's actually stopping a lot of the damage, and it's sort of serving as a heal for him, as it allows him to sort of take back some regen and get himself back up to full health.
It's almost like you have some traumatizing experiences with that annoyance, huh?
Yeah, and now Frey over here, again, is going to get knocked out as he tried to move over Ninja. Sonic Screwdriver is also going to get knocked out, so blue team is going to gain the initial advantage here. Red team is up at the moment. They're up by about what seems to be a little less than 100 points. Seems more around 80 points. They are holding the lead. However, it seems as though if this fight continues on as predicted, that blue team is going to take this middle fight now and gain the capture lead.
They did kill Chieftain, so they had the buff from that. And that really definitely helped in that fight, not only to mention that they could migrate from Chieftain straight to Keep. So it was as we thought, because they were able to get a few kills. As you said, one filtered in at a time on Red Team, and they got the kills. That means the resources are down, and they were able to take Keep. So they benefited from that opportunity. I'm
actually quite surprised how much the buff's making a difference. Normally in the high tier games, we really don't see the buff making that much of an effort, but I mean, in this, I'm not saying this isn't a high tier game. These are new teams. They want to be. They definitely are looking to join that high tier. But in this game itself, the buffs are making a really significant difference. It could be a coincidence. Now, don't get me wrong, but it could be a coincidence, and the sort of flood in from players, them not being prepared for that, could be making the fight. But it definitely seems like whoever has the buff prepared is going to win these team fights. Looking at back over to the middle fight, however, Red Team did come back with a Fury. And while Quark actually is going to go down, as we're seeing here, Alakashi, his bleeds are sort of going unchecked. He's spreading them around pretty nicely. Quark is, even in his down state, is going to have a lot of bleeds on him. And Red Team really is not in any position to res Quark. Flower Corpse is going to try to do his best to get him up, but unfortunately he will still go down. Let's actually move back over to the Henge now. We do have a 3-push from the Red Team over there. Sonic Screwdriver along with Twisted Images. And I believe Frey and Kayak did a very nice job at ninjing that point. Good job by them, realizing that possibly the mid-fight wasn't really their cup of tea. They moved over there and back-capped that. So they are going to keep their lead.
And back at Keep, Flower Corpse, Rallied Flower Corpse, popped his Sanctuary, but it wasn't on top of him. They were able to get the stomp on him and secure this point, although it's too little too late because Red did capture Henge, but mine also went down now to Blue. So go Goldibus, doing a really good job.
Good Goldibus.
Good Goldibus. He was able to stun lock him off for a little bit long enough to get it contested anyways.
And we are seeing a Goldibus sort of, unfortunately, and he did pop his ultimate there, so we are going to see with his rune choice, he's going to flip around all his conditions to boons for a minute there. And a nice burst combo there from Shido Stars, and Goldibus just knocks Quark out of there, and blue team is going to recapture that point with no contestation whatsoever. Back over to the Henge over here. It seems skill abuse is taking out Sonic Screwdriver with little to no issue. He did get a little low there, however, the fight really went in their favor, and we're now back over to fighting at mid.
Yeah, Keep, it's not looking good for Red. Blue has their foothold in it, and they're not caught flat-footed. So Twisted Images went down. He had to migrate away and heal up, while Rallied Flower Corpse, although still there, isn't going to be able to do much because it is 2v1, and it isn't Blue's. But he's not going to be able to push them off enough to get it contested. Oh, a 3-cap by Blue. I didn't even notice that.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Red Team is unfortunately really going to be in an unfortunate situation there. They have managed to flip that lead around, and Blue Team will now be in the lead. Red Team is really going to be grouping up here, moving over to the middle point. Mine rather. Sorry about that. Sonic Screwdriver with that heal actually managing to res 2 or 3 members of his team. An excellent play by Sonic, and they're going to recapture mine and move on from there.
They were able to capitalize on it because the natural reaction, especially if your home point is taken, is that, okay, you res near your base, okay, you got to take that home point.
Definitely.
And so what they did was able to put the tricky people there enough to go, hey, look, we capped this, and then draw all the attention there, and that's why they got a partial blue 3-cap on Blue. But Savannah is to being taken down now by the people on Red that migrated from mine and took that point.
Yeah. They're going to take that down with no contestation whatsoever. Possibly then we'll move on to Chieftain. We are going to see a Chieftain play happen over here. Let's take a look at Goldibus' point of view as they do that. Red Team might choose to cross, and the question is, will they see this coming? It doesn't seem they will. There's really no one moving. We do see the Chief. We do see, the Thief on Red Team over, but the question is, will he get there in time? I cannot actually see the Chieftain's health, so I will not know that. And they will get that without any contestation, give themselves a little bit more of a lead. Red Team, 125 points away from winning, but they are at the cap disadvantage. It looks, however, Frey, realizing he couldn't get this boss, went for the back point. Definitely a good strategy there. The question is he going to stay and fight this 1v2 now? And it looks like he is, actually.
Yeah, he wasn't tricky. He wasn't stealthy enough as a thief. If he had gone by unnoticed, if he was stealth or something, they might not have noticed from Chieftain, but they were able to see him running up on that point. So, is he short bow? I think he is short
bow. The thief, you mean? Yes.
I'm surprised that he was noticed going there. That's like one of the strengths of the thief, but he is going to go down because too many.
But
even trades all around.
Yeah.
They tried to ninja there rather than going for keep, and it didn't necessarily work out. They got a slight decap, but yeah, back at keep is the main action.
And again, we're getting to that point now where red team really has to make an amazing play, go for that 3 cap if they want to come back from this. Blue team is getting to a pretty safe point. They may actually, at this point, they could really just hold their close point and win. So we're going to see how red team reacts here. We did see Frey go for that third decap there. However, he didn't really have much support from his team. And blue team realizing, hey, we're close to winning. They really just held back and held that pretty safely.
Yeah, their timing isn't completely 100%, and they're not going to be able to benefit from that because although they'll get keep right now, it seems it is not going to be enough. They're going to have 2 points, and Blue's going to get this win at this rate.
Blue's also going to get a decap over here at the mine. Nice job by Goldless. Yeah.
Relentless. You can't beat the blue.
Relentless decaps. So blue, the red team actually is moving into here full force. Will they get the decap? Oh no, Grotchunk jumped on that point just in time, it seems. And he really is going to hold this off, popping all of his cooldowns. And yes, blue team's going to take round 2. Nice job to LGS. Holding a pretty dominant lead today. Alright, so blue team will take round 2. Nice job, blue team. Alright. So we're going to be moving on to round 3, which I believe is... And give me a second, because this map rotation is definitely different. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Temple! There we go.
Ho ho.
Oh boy. Alright, so STyL, how do you think this match is going to go?
You know, I'll be completely honest with you. I've only seen this map being played a couple of times, and it's still pretty foreign to me. And I haven't seen teams like work it in a fashion that seems that they command it and fully understand it. So I am curious. I have the same question to you. What do you think?
I personally, and I don't want to give credit to either team, but I do think blue team will come out on top again here. The reason for that, again, because we did see blue team generally having control over the map. But conversely to that, we could see red team come out on top because of the buffs. The buffs can make a pretty crucial difference here, and red team generally having them win most of these team fights is really might turn this game around for them. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
You know, this map is pretty blue, so they might just have an advantage on their home turf.
They can blend in the camouflage.
Yeah.
Alright guys, I'm actually curious to see what the viewers think. This is something new we're going to try. I'm not going to bring it on screen, but we do have a bit of an online poll here they're going to do real quick. I'm linking it now in the chat. Tell me who you think is going to win, guys. There's a link there. We do have a straw poll link up. Go ahead and click
straw
on
poll.
Straw poll link. Go ahead and tell me who you think is going to win. Let's see, the votes pile in. Pretty heavy bias towards LGS, but as we're seeing here, we'll give that a minute. We'll come back to it right before we get started.
Game starts in 10 seconds.
Starting, yeah, we're going to see how it goes here. What could be the last match here if Team LGS pulls out a win again. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how it goes. And as the map opens, let's see where these teams split. It actually seemed pretty even, 50-50 actually on the votes. So, yeah, it could go either way according to the viewers.
Sign of a good match right there.
And it looks like blue team is going to choose to cross directly over, completely ignore the gate, and go directly over to Temple. Quark is definitely going to be under pressure here, as choosing your Necromancer as the one on point. Not the safest choice here, but again, we could see it go pretty quickly.
Wow, I can't believe that there are this many people allocated to this point.
Well, no, this is actually, even if you do like solo queue, this is a pretty normal thing to see. Midpoint is very hard to fight, especially if you're not confident in your team composition in team fights. So it's normally a pretty safe thing to aggress that far point. And we're seeing it work for them here, actually, because LGS is going to, in general, take this, will more likely take this initial fight. They're going to devote a lot of resources to getting Quark up, but they did get him up, and they may pay the price now, because now Sonic, Screwdriver, and Freya are going to get somewhat low. Sonic is still in this, but no, and he's going to go down. But he does have his elixir down. They need to do a little bit more damage. We're going to see Goldibus come in there with that 100 Blades, and he will save the day. Quark is also going to go down. Actually, so yeah, blue team, again, is going to pull off this initial advantage here.
Now, what they're really going to have to worry about is respawns from the red team, so they need to be anticipating where they're going to move next. But during that fight, I saw the Elemental Shadow Stars from the blue team have 10 stacks of might and maintain that for about the whole fight. Yeah. So that's, I mean, he was dishing out a lot of damage because of that.
And it looks like Skill Abuse may get a decap here in middle as well. Rallid Flower Corpse is holding it, but we have seen him get knocked off a few times now. Skill Abuse, can he get just those couple more knockbacks go in here?
Wow, I'm seeing the blue team actually intercept the red team from their respawn to make sure that they can't get to those points.
Very smart move.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Alakashi right now, see what's going on. And keep in mind, guys, the bus will be spawning in about 2 minutes. 11:30, I believe, is the first buff.
So Alter on the northwest has been completely uncontested. The Mesmer is going to check that to see if there's anything going on there, but there is not anything. But Gate, yeah, got completely, what's his name? The guy that...
Rallied Flower Corpse.
Yeah, he did really good to just stick his point there.
We just saw Frey pull off a nice combo against Alakashi. Blue team is going to do a nice job at rezzing him, but Frey, with that amazing combo, almost knocked Alakashi out of there without him being able to even see it happen. So what do you think? Personally, what do you think of Alakashi's build here? Is it working, or is it a bit excessive? What do you think?
Well, I've been looking at the conditions, and I don't see that bleeds are completely stacked, assuming that he's still the same trait build. But actually, look at, like, right now, there's 11 stacks on Sonic Screwdriver. But it did get cleansed immediately, so it's like, you gotta wait till they use that condition removal, and then really go for it. So if you have team coordination, I can see it really paying off.
It's a very conditional... conditions. A very conditional build, in my opinion. It really will only pay off if you're up against targets that don't have a lot of cleanse or have already expended their cleanse. So it could be a nice surprise build. But in general, in these team fights, I really don't see it performing all that well. Nonetheless, however, this team has been outperforming Red Team now, especially on this map. So the shoe's fitting so far.
Yeah, there is action. At Alter finally is going to see some blood. Red Team is actually going down. Blue Team were able to maintain hold on Alter.
Yeah. And Frey, unfortunately, really will not be in a position to counter. I think we do have the first fight coming on here. I do not. Oh, I hate that so much. I don't have an eye up there to look at, so I have to look at the team fight here. Yep, stillness is up. We're gonna see the team fight erupt here. Definitely seems like Blue has the initial resource advantage, but Rallied Flower Corpse with that Sanctuary comes in. Is it gonna be enough? Is he contained within it? Can he channel it all? And no, he will not. A nice move, however. Blue team did have those nice AoEs that he could still sneak in there, and we are going to see now from up above here, we're going to see the engineer throw in some stuff. Let's take a look. Actually, no, never mind. Sonic Screwdriver also got knocked out there. I was looking at the wrong effects. But again,
how long does it take to grab that buff there?
I believe it's a 5-second channel. I believe that's what it is. I could be wrong on that, though. Just off the top of my head, that's what I'm pretty sure it is. Sonic Twisted Images will go down here, and we're going to see Goldobus move in. Rallied Flower Corpse is going to do a knockback, but Red Team, Freykai's in stealth here. Is he going to be able to do it? We're going to see stops come out here. Rallied Goldobus is going to be, Goldobus is going to be doing a lot of damage, and it will not be enough. And Freya will also go down. Not the best choice of target to res, or to use for their resurrection. Grouchichan's moving in here with blocks. He tried to channel that again on the ninja. Fixie is telling me that it's actually 3 seconds. Thank you, Fixie, for correcting me there.
Wow. Surprised that they haven't gotten it.
It's a pretty hard thing to pull off because you just you're at the point again. Sorry about that. Move on here. And it looks, however, like Blue Team is gonna get it actually. Yep, Blue Team managed to get that, and they're gonna get a pretty hefty advantage going on here.
Wow.
Right in the initial match.
Double points for each capture point. Absolutely insane. Yeah, they secured that kill. They, I got to give it to Red Team. They're putting up a big fight, but they seem to have either. Do you think it's a build advantage or an execution advantage that Blue is taking?
I think it's more again, guys. Remember, both of these teams are very new. They've really formed up, I believe, most of them within the past week or two. So and I really think it's just at this point, because I don't want to say so much as that either team really has communication or a seniority advantage. I really think it's more coming down to the builds and the execution, both combined equally at this point. I think Blue Team generally just has their comp a little more figured out. Red Team is definitely a little bit of a safer comp, and while Blue Team's comp is a little bit more dangerous, I definitely think they have it possibly practiced a little more and patted down a little bit better, and they're just really executing it slightly better than Red Team is.
Yeah, because the thing is, Rallied Flower Corpse is definitely cut and dry. He's going to be he's solo bunker, so he's not there to help out with reses and stuff like that. So although it's extremely good at bunkering, the team fights are not going in their way.
And yeah, Blue Team closing in on 400 points here. Blue Team does still have a chance, as we are going to have the underground buff Tranquility pop up in about 30 seconds here. I'm actually looking underground now to see if anybody chooses to jump down here. It's spawning in about 15 seconds. We are going to see the Necromancer over Quark come over here and decap the altar. Finally, that gets decapped. I believe Blue Team's held that pretty resiliently for the entire match.
Mesmer Portal.
Yeah, Skill Beast will port in. We are going to come back. We are going to go back to underground, though, because we do have the stuff going in here. And 1 second, I actually forgot to mute my Skype. Let me do that now. Oops, a daisy. That's better. All right, so Rallied and no contestant from the Blue Team at all down here. No, we had Groucho, but Groucho realized he was way too late. It seems Blue Team, and they're not on the points either. Oh my god, this is a huge mistake by Team LGS. They did not see this coming at all. This could be a very crucial mistake. If blue team pulls this up, probably it looks like they are going to lose Temple, but this is really going to turn it around for them. Red team, however, does need to move back over to Temple. They need to hold all 3 of these points if they want the chance at coming back anytime soon here.
Yeah, that point, that as soon as you say, hey, we're about to get this, you need to split out and cover all those points.
And now the 2 cap has been turned around. We are going to see Alter go over to red team's favor. And yeah, it actually seemed like blue team figuring in, and again, I think blue team actually wanted to go for that middle buff up top, because considering how close they were already to victory, and it really seems like they're working to him. I think red team again with that execution, they did get that buff safely. I think they were anticipating a lot more of a fight there. Stillness.
Yeah, but in the end, they do have the double point still for the captures, so it was a really good Valiant try, but a little bit on the execution, couldn't pull it off necessarily.
Yeah.
Their 1v1 capabilities seem to be going in blue's favor, too.
It does. While I was saying before, red team does have the team fight, again, it seems blue team, again, has that 1v1 advantage, and they have really the map control advantage, which is going to give blue team the set. So nice job to Team LGS. Actually, let's take the straw poll, see what the final results were at the end there. Yeah, it was 24 votes, 50-50 even.
Wow.
So both teams were rooting for both teams.
Yeah, and that's true, and that's totally understandable. Red team, although they lost the 5, is like they did so well, and I could see it going in the opposite direction when they go, hey, let's look at our builds and let's try something new.
And yeah, but we do have more maps though, so I think both teams are still willing to continue on. We do actually not have another scheduled scrim after this, so at least not yet. So we're going to move on. We're going to actually allow them to take a little bit of an AFK. I think we're going to take one as well here real quick. And yeah, we're going to take a bit of an AFK, and we're actually going to continue on with these 2 teams. They're definitely eager to continue on, I believe. So yeah, we'll come back to that in just a second.
See you in a bit.
No, I have music. I have music.
I know. Well, they can't hear me anyways, right?
No, they can.
Oh, they can? I'm on top of the music? Ew.
They can hear both of us. I'm just playing music anyway.
Hashtag production value.
Dude, look at my AFK screen, man.
Look in. Let's see.
You've seen it already, I think.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen this.
But usually you mute us, so we're not talking over these guys.
I'm still working on it. It's like way too much effort right now to figure it out. Like I think I know how to do it. But yeah.
All right. No big deal. Yeah, where did you get that animation from?
It's from the.
I know it's from the the video, but
I don't know. I've seen the GIF before on Reddit a lot. So yeah.
Too good. How do they make it? Are those see-through snares? That's so cool. Actually, those aren't the snares. Those are the what do they call them? Oh my god, I haven't been a drummer in the toms. There it is. Gosh, I did drumming for like 3 years, but I completely forgot the terms. But yeah, that's really cool. Like see-through like that. Yeah. Man, I'm surprised I haven't even seen that go Daft Punk. I'm not a giant fan of Daft Punk, but I definitely do like their most recent song, and they definitely got style. That swag.
I like the new album. A lot of people didn't. It was very avant-garde. So,
yeah. I'm down for that. Like, I'm down for doing anything new, but they haven't done something new for a long time. Like, they did the old style. They brought back the old style, and that was their whole thing, and that's they did that for a while, but it's always been that, and I've always seen it as being sort of watered down, but then this new album, yeah, definitely something new. I'm down for anything, as long as it's new.
Yeah.
And I heard a really weird story about how the song was created. I think I told you, maybe. Just like, there's who's the guy that's featured on this song? Is the singer, I don't even know. But
hold on, I can tell you. I have it here. I'm trying to.
Well, that guy, he was like, he's like, oh man, I couldn't even remember that night that we made this song.
Pharrell Williams.
Yeah, Pharrell Williams. He's like, I got abducted by the robots, and the robots took me to another place, and they gave me weird pills, and we danced and made music, and at the end of the night, we created this song, and I didn't even remember that I created it. It's like, what the heck? You wonder if that really happened.
Yeah, we're just waiting a minute here to come back from the commercial break, but I think it's going to end in just a second.
We're up all night to get lucky.
The song name's at the bottom right. Or the one we were talking about, or the one that's playing now?
The one that we were talking about is what's it?
Get Lucky.
Get Lucky. That's what it is. But I love me some Cinema remix. So good.
Back. Valve 07, the song name's at the bottom right. It's Cinema by Benny Benassi. Alright, and we're back.
You turn the music off?
Music is off, my good sir.
Oh, good job. Hashtag production value.
Back over here, once again. The official set is over. LGS did win. But we're going to move back here now. And give me 1 second. There we go. We're going to move back now, and we are going to do the last 2 maps here as well. 1 second, please. We need more Kappa. So we did actually have some switch outs here.
I actually told them how to Kappa.
Stay on target. Stay on. Stay focused, man. We are going to see some profession switch outs here. So let's go over them real quick. All right. Quark Q, previously who was playing Necromancer, is actually going to be playing Guardian now, running with 7 runes of Duena. Interesting choice. It looks like it's going to be Meditation build. Very interesting choice. Running with Soldier's Amulet, Mace Focus, Shield, and Sword. And then his traits, 0030, 2020, using that meditation skill to heal. So it's going to be a very, somewhat of a selfish build, if I do say so myself. However, he will be able to take a lot of damage from this and stay alive for a pretty long time. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Quark is kawaii, am I right? Kawaii des.
Wait, what?
Kawaii is cute in Japanese.
I don't know.
I am Japanese.
Anyway. Alakashi Team Alakashi told me that Team LGS is waiting for one, so we're just going over their builds real quick here, guys. Rallad Flourish Shot is now going to be playing Ranger. It looks to be a Beastmaster build, running with Sword, Torch, a Short Bow, 6 runes of Duena, a Shaman's Amulet, and the traits. Interesting choice of traits. Points in skirmishing, actually. I don't really see that a lot. Pet's moving 30% faster, so we may see Rallad being in a lot of these team fights. Normally, we're going to see Rangers of this caliber hang out in the back on the safe point. But with this trait choice in mind, I think he's actually going to be sending his pet into a lot. Maybe just his pet, actually, because of the chase range is ridiculously high. So maybe he will be sending them in. But let's look at the rest of the traits here. It seems pretty normal. A very defensive Ranger build. He's going to be able to sustain a lot and use his pet to chain a lot of that damage. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And last but not least, Frey Off the Wall. I don't remember who he was last game, but he will be running with 7 runes of Divinity. Sword Focus. This looks to be a little bit more going with the meta here. With a Great Sword, Berserker's Amulet, and over to the traits 2020-0030. So a very commonly used Shatter build here. It's going to do a lot of damage, and it also exercises a pretty decent amount of control due to the skills on Focus.
And I do like that he's getting Illusion of Life, because this map is just so close points that you're going to be like 5v5ing a lot. Yeah. So I really like that. All
right, guys. So round 4. This is an extended set. Let's see what you guys think. We got another poll for you. I hope this is in the same one. All right. Yep. Different poll now, guys. Let's see what you think now.
Last chance to nail down your strategy.
We got one missing on blue.
No, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
He just took a second to spawn in. All right, so again, we are seeing Swiftness go out. The LA is definitely going to give them superior Swiftness, but 2 stacks of Might will go over to the red team. Opening up the map again to see where we're headed here. And it looks like red team's going to move very quickly in the middle. Both teams actually have a pretty even push. However, red team is not going to be sending an additional person to quarry like we see a lot, and they will just keep one over here. And red team will now have the initial advantage here in middle fight.
See if blue team is able to hold off 3v4. Oh, we do have Alakashi coming from the other point. Now it's 4v4.
Alakashi, seeing there was no threat, will be moving in now. Let's take a look at the bleed stacks. Keep a look at the condition meters over here on red team, guys. It's really going to be where Alakashi shines here. Let's see who he's focused here. It looks like they're going to be going for Twisted Images. And 5 stacks of bleeds will come on from that split blade. Twisted Images, however, is able to hold off pretty nicely. Gagolda was as a warrior. Unfortunately, it was focused down pretty easily by the red team, and he's going to get knocked out here with almost no challenge whatsoever.
Twisted Images goes down as well, so they're not completely out of it. Twist Image has tons of bleeds on him. Looks like they're not trying to stomp him. They're just trying to whittle him down with damage. Although he's getting res now, so that wasn't a completely good choice. It looks like they forgot about him a little bit. It was good that they focused Warrior because he got up to like 13 stacks of might and was dishing out a lot of damage. And so, I mean, that was really smart on Red, and I think they're coming out because of it.
Yeah. So let's see here. It does seem like they managed to get him out. So blue team will definitely or red team rather will once again have the advantage here in this initial middle fight. And as we're seeing now, blue team. So
good rotation on blue teams. They're trying to respawn and take Quarry, but got chased away by the Mesmer.
I don't know. We're going to see Golubus move in here as well. Blue team sort of shifting away from this, actually. Despite them, for what? Yep, and they are going to move on here. Fly off the wall, or fray off the wall will knock him back. They're actually going to sort of flip-flop there, and the decap will still happen because Golubus and Shadow Star sort of switch positions there. They didn't really